Hello and thank you for tuning in. You're watching The Property Guide. This show aims to give you all of the information you need to be able to buy property in India and make smart investments in real estate. Remember, you can send in any question you have about buying property to thepropertyguide@et-now.com. On the show this week, we review Worli in Mumbai. We'll tell you why it's become a preferred zone for luxury properties. We'll also give you a checklist of what to keep in mind when investing in second sale homes. And we'll answer your questions about buying property in Bangalore and Noida. All right, let's get straight to it. Joining us today on the show, Jayashree Kurup, Head of Content and Research at magicbricks.com, Ghulam Zia, Executive Director at Knight Frank India, in our Noida studio, Karthik Verma, co-founder of PropTiger.com. All of you, thank you so much for coming in to the studio. Jayashree, it's lovely to have you in Bombay. It's much warmer here than it is in Delhi. I want to start off by talking about Worli. It's received so much attention. And I want to, like we were talking about before we started, we're going to use Worli slightly loosely here and include Lower Parel and Mahalakshmi and the Parel area as well. Let's take first a look at the price movements in the locality, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about investment options with our guests. Until a few decades ago, Worli in central Mumbai was a traditional textile mill location. As the mills shut down and land parcels became available, several high-profile developers began to move in. In 2005, DLF bought the 17-acre Mumbai textile mills plot for 700 crore rupees. In 2010, India Bulls bagged the 10-acre Bharat and Podar mills in Worli for close to 2,000 crore rupees. Today, Worli is home to skyscrapers and ultra-luxury projects. The commissioning of the Bandra-Worli Sea Link has improved connectivity between Worli and BKC, giving a fillip to the location's growth. But the recent sluggishness in Mumbai's real estate market has impacted prices in Worli as well. According to PropTiger.com, prices of homes in Worli, which were priced at 37,500 rupees in 2011, have decreased by 3% over 2 years and are currently trading at an average of 35,500 rupees a square foot. Neighbouring Lower Parel and Parel, the city's new business hubs, have witnessed flat movement in prices as well, with an increase of a mere 1 or 2% over the last 2 years. According to PropTiger.com, homes in Lower Parel were priced at 27,800 rupees, while Parel is currently trading at 26,200 rupees a square foot. On the other hand, Worli's other neighbour, Mahalakshmi, which enjoys a view of Haji Ali and the racecourse, has witnessed a 5% appreciation in prices over the past 2 years. Homes here are priced at an average of 33,300 rupees a square foot. Alright, so that was Worli, the central Mumbai region basically. Ghulam, I'm going to come to you first. For those of us who spend a lot of time in this central Mumbai region, the skyline changes drastically every few months. There are a lot of skyscrapers that are coming up here. Things are changing very drastically. Is this the place to be for someone who has the money, who wants to make an investment?
Well, the answer is a huge and resounding yes. It is yes because not only the new high-rises that you're talking about, but also because of a completely new infrastructure which is falling into place. Whether you talk about the Eastern freeway that has just about become operational, or you talk about monorails, or you talk about soon to be, I don't know how soon, but soon to be completed waterways that we're talking about, the Bandra-Worli Sea Link which is ready. Now the connectivity, which is east-west connectivity, which is connecting Worli to Siuri-Wadala, which is perhaps another 2-3 years from completion, etc. So these are all greenfield infrastructure projects which are going to make your life much more easier. So on one side, where you're talking about the real, ultra-modern high-rises, on the other side, you're also currently the problem. Anybody talking about Lower Parel or Worli says that I can't go there because traveling is a nightmare. But then coming 3-4 years will change that completely. So you will have a fantastic ultra-modern amenity, a ultra-modern facility to live in, and a fantastic connectivity to go to your place of work. So Worli it is.
So Worli it is. Well, Jayashree, I'm going to bring you in here. The interesting thing about Worli is that if you look at the prices, they range between 27,000 to 50,000 because there's such a wide range of what's available in this market. And there are also now peripheral locations like Sivri has become very interesting because, and it's still far cheaper than a Worli area. Tell us how, when you watch the prices move, and if someone's watching right now who cannot afford a Worli, does it make sense then to consider a Baikala, a Sivri, or one of these places?
Across the country, Faye, what's happening is there is that one locality which is the aspirational locality. Prices are high, there are premium properties there, and that is where the demand actually is. But if you can't afford that area, the periphery of that, locality in focus becomes a much wanted place, and there is no harm in buying there because, like Ghulam said, there are so many transport corridors that are opening up, and if you look at how real estate growth is happening in India, it is along India's transport corridors. So Baikula, Sivri, these are all places which, by proximity to Worli, which has zoomed into a destination, these are important, and I think there's no harm in buying there.
And is there another neighborhood in Mumbai that will give us better property prices appreciation than?
Well, for this we have to locate a property which would not have been growing along the remaining neighborhoods. So when I look at it, there are one or two of these locations which come to mind immediately. One obviously is, we're talking about the Sivri-Wadala belt. The other is Chembur. Both these locations are in close proximity. Sivri-Wadala is close to Worli Prabhadevi. Chembur is close to BKC, and these are the essential CBD hubs of the city. And these are locations where price rise has not been much in recent past. So given away, if I have to make a choice, I would actually select between these two locations rather than looking at Worli, Prabhadevi, etc.
Karthik, very quickly coming to you, we're obviously talking about investments at this point. Do you also agree that it makes sense to skip a Worli and look at a Chembur and a Wadala instead?
Well, the best way of trying to ensure that you get a good return on your investment is making sure the price is cheap enough. And so if some of these neighborhoods like Baikula and Sivri and so on are much cheaper in price and still in close proximity to good infrastructure, then it perhaps makes better sense to invest in those purely from an investment perspective. If on the other hand, you're looking at it as a residential option for yourself, then I think it's, if you can afford it, then Worli certainly seems to have a leg up right now in other, compared to other neighborhoods, on the kind of quality of infrastructure that's coming up right now. But you know, if you watch the investment price that you're getting into a certain investment, it'll certainly pay dividends later on.
All right, so it's never a bad time if you're actually looking for a home to live in, especially those people from South Mumbai where you don't have too much supply. So if you're looking to live in Worli and you want to buy a home, here's a list of options that are available that our experts think make sense for you. If you're looking to buy a home in Worli, here are a few investment options for you. Blue by India Bulls priced at 60,000 rupees a square foot. Omkar 1973 priced at 38,000 rupees a square foot. The Park by Lodha Group 24,471 rupees. And finally, Petal by the Runbal Group priced at 31,000 rupees a square foot. All right, let's quickly take in some questions. Sunil has written in. He tells us his relatives wish to invest in an apartment in Meera Road in Mumbai with a budget of 30 to 35 lakh rupees. He's narrowed down his choice to an apartment by JC Homes. He wants to know if that's a good investment and what kind of returns he can expect. He also wants to pick an apartment perhaps in Thane, Panvel or Taloja. Let's take the first question. Meera Road, 30-35 lakh rupees. Does that make sense? Should he consider the JC Properties option?
Meera Road in that price is difficult to fit in because the prices are actually in Meera Road crossing 6,000 to 7,000 rupees mark. Most of the known developers are in that range. Now the specific project he's talking about looks like the project, if he gets it in that price that he's talking about, I very much doubt because the prices are not as much or what he's indicating. So first of all, if it is Meera Road, the price, the budget has to go up. Now in this budget, obviously Taloja makes sense because that's one new location which is coming up. So 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. The farther areas of New Mumbai, right from Taloja to the new developments that are coming up beyond Taloja are perhaps locations to look at. Now in Thana as well, or in that central corridor as well, it has to be farther off. You know, it has to be either Dombivli, because even Dombivli is touching 5,000 rupees marks or going beyond that. So either Dombivli, or there are new destinations like Vasins, etc., which are the new locations coming up, Asangaon, Vasin, Ambarnath, lot many of these areas where it is still under 5,000 rupees kind of price.
So I want to ask you a quick question again. If he invests 20-25 lakh rupees in Taloja and buys an apartment, what sort of a return can he expect, say 5 years down the line?
Not much, in my opinion, remaining in Dombivli to exploit. But if you're talking about Taloja or the locations beyond Kalyan, Bhiwandi, etc., these are still locations which are up and coming. And in next 5 years, I would look at least a 10 to 15% year-on-year growth, which will give you, doubling of the price. So I'm talking about Taloja, it has to go up to 7,000-8,000. Also, because the new airport is going to be in the vicinity.
All right, it's time for a very short break on the show, but when we come back, we will talk about buying second sale homes, and we'll tell you what you should keep in mind and what paperwork you should be doing when buying a second sale home. Don't go anywhere.